during this 1917, 1918, miners' unions throughout the state was building these gathering houses. That was the big thing. Ours is better than yours. It's kind of, so when they got ready to build one here in Collinsville, the miners thought, we're going to add a theater to ours. So when we go up to our meetings, our family members could go up and go see a show or a live play. So that's how they actually got the theater tied in with the Union Hall.
I remember the cartoons that were between the double feature that were so fun.
I remember the marquee, which was big with blinking lights going around it.
My first memory of the Miners Theater is basically coming into town before I was ever a resident here and seeing this structure so old and so unique and so precise.
My first memory of Miners Theater was running down the aisles during a Christmas play, and I just remember screaming, "Extra, extra, read all about it, Miners Theater, something." But anyway, that's pretty much the extent of my stage life.
Coming to see Song of the South with my mom and dad. It's the first time I ever got to see a motion picture. I sat right in the middle of the theater with my little thing of popcorn and thought it was grand.
I think we paid 12 cents to get in.
25 cents to get in to see the movie.
You go to Dean's, you get 3 candy bars, full-size candy bars for a dime. Now, I don't know which was, $1 to get in the show, if that much. And then, so, you know, parents gave you $1.50, you made it good. You had a soda, 3 candy bars, and tickets to the show, you're in pretty good shape.
My first memory is actually I had auditions upstairs in one of the meeting rooms.
I remember one movie that I was maybe junior high age, Frankenstein, and I didn't like it at all.
I remember my parents dropping off, and the line would be around the corner to get in. You really kind of want to sit behind, not in front of the balcony, because things would fall out of the balcony, popcorn, things like that.
And invariably during the show, the film would always break. There, you know, and you had to stop and splice it, and you just kind of got used to it.
And I remember walking into this theater, holding my dad's hand, and seeing Star Wars for the very first time. If you're from Collinsville, chances are you have a story about Miners Theater too. And even today, being in this beautiful, historic building, you can feel the nostalgia and rich heritage that has been passed down through generations. This building was built based on family and community. It's a privilege to walk down memory lane and learn about the past, but let's also join together and look to the future at what this building can provide for Collinsville and the surrounding communities. Today, the building is closed and requires significant renovation to make it ADA accessible, as well as compliant with current building codes before it can be reopened to the public. Recent renovations include resurfacing the stage and making it ADA accessible. The Collinsville Area Vocation Center donated the labor, and the construction materials were purchased with a donation from Collinsville Progress. Also recently completed was the installation of exit signs and egress lighting, also required before reopening the building. The signs and lights were purchased with a grant from the Boeing Employees Community Fund, and the labor was donated by the IBEW Local 309. Other work that remains before the theater can be reopened includes building ADA-compliant restrooms, adding an automatic door opener, plaster repair, insulation, installation of an HVAC system, electrical upgrades, and adding a fire alarm system with voice evacuation. Our goal is to have Miners Theater reopened by December 28, 2018 to celebrate the 100-year anniversary. The restoration process began in 1988 when the Miners Institute Foundation purchased the building. Throughout this time, even while the doors were still open, many people have worked and donated countless hours of time and money. Tonight, we want to memorialize Betty Daly, the first president of the Miners Institute Foundation. Her sacrifice and dedication to this cause was a true labor of love. If Betty was still with us today, she would say the same things she said at the 75th anniversary. For each of you, depending upon your age, it will have a different significance, but with one common thread: community. This building was built solely with this in mind. It was built by the community for the community.